Good evening. My name is Mark McHenry with the KC Parks and Recreation Department. We're glad to be your host this evening for a 20-year celebration from the Shoal Creek TIF. And I believe we've had about 15 miles of road build up here. That's streets, boulevards, and parkways since 1994.
Developers tended to buy ground 200 yards away from an arterial. And the whole purpose was that they would build their subdivision, whether it was commercial or retail or houses, and they would build 200 yards away so they didn't have to build that arterial. And one of the things that this TIF plan did was it said, we're going to build the arterials so that the people can get to the retail, people can get to the commercial on a nice 4-lane street. And until that time, the city did a lot else, so they just didn't have the authority or the money to do it. Now they got the money.
Scott and I are the new kids on the block. We've only been on the council 3 years, so we can't take credit for having a lot to do with what's been achieved up here. But one of the things that we heard consistently as we sought city council office was the liabilities of TIFs and what's wrong with TIFs and why we shouldn't do them. I think this is the example for what TIFs can do for a city. There isn't a TIF anywhere that's achieved more for a city, done a better job of encouraging development, done a better job of influencing the community around it than the Shoal Creek TIF. So what a great example that TIF can work, TIF does work when city officials and TIF commissioners get together and find ways to make it a success.
Dick talked a lot about the future, and there is a future, even though I think there is sometimes fear that as pieces of the TIF begin to roll off, what happens next? Well, we are talking about that. We are trying to figure out what that is. Because if anything, the last census proved the success of the Shoal Creek TIF and what it has done for the Northland and what it continues to do. But it goes to prove that this TIF continues to be a success because of the vision of all of you in this room who looked at what was possible and decided to make that happen. And we have you to thank for it. We have an opportunity to do several projects. We continue to move those projects along, and we continue to see new developments coming. So there is, you know, I sometimes expect this to be a wake in some respects, but it's not, because the TIF is alive and well, and projects can continue to happen.
I was given all these numbers to throw at you, but our building permits just within the Shoal Creek TIF have gone up, let's see, let me get them right here. In 94, 140 permits, and in 2012, there was over 2,500 permits. 24% of all of Kansas City, Missouri's permits were produced right in this TIF. Liberty School District has seen a significant increase in their students and population, and the Shoal Creek TIF population from 94 was 1,743, and in 2010, you're at 15,000. That has been an 800% increase in population. So if you don't believe in the TIF tool, you need to look just at this particular project and know that when we invest in our infrastructure, that then the development comes. So good job for the visionaries, for your early politicians and TIF leaders, for having that vision, because sometimes not everyone gets it, and you can see the future, and you are now in your future.